go, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, we are up. Vanessa, go ahead and do your first question.
Hello, everyone. This is Ms. Brown. It's a typical busy day as I spent this morning conducting a whirlwind media tour. But I made sure to carve out some time for my wonderful fans. For the next 30 minutes, I'll be answering your questions. First up, JG036891 wants to know if I'm pure milk chocolate inside and out. Well, of course, I'm nothing more than milk chocolate and a thin candy shell. Next up, Lindsay from Brooklyn wants to know, what do I think of Neil Patrick Harris? Neil did a wonderful job introducing me last week to the fans. He's a big fan of M&Ms, and I am a big fan of his, and I would say it's an awesome combination. Thank you, Lindsay. Next up, we have Corey from Frankfurt who wants to know what I've been up to for 70 years. Well, Corey, here's a little history. In 1941, I was introduced as the first chocolate candy for M&Ms. Since then, I went off to an Ivy League school and I majored in business to know as much as I possibly could and ended up graduating summa cum laude and working for Mars Chocolate as Chief Chocolate Officer. And it was my idea to introduce color to the M&Ms mix. I came up with the idea of the red, the yellow, the blue, the orange, and the green. And over the past 7 decades, I've been focused on the boardroom meetings across the globe, researching and developing in labs and perfecting my chocolate recipes, studying cocoa, and coming up with the next great marketing idea. And as you know, I truly am the brains behind the most successful brand of M&Ms. And I enjoy being the spokesperson. So after 70 years, it's my time to come out of my shell and be the spokesperson for M&Ms. Next up, we've got Lois from St. Louis. She wants to know, who is my favorite spokes candy? Well, that's a hard one, Lois. They're all like children to me, and how can you pick a favorite? Of course, Ms. Green, she's the other gal. She's attractive, she's flirty, she's quick-witted. Then you've got Yellow. He's naive, he's clumsy, he's a bit innocent, but he still is charming. Then you've got Blue. He's cool, he's confident, he's up on his current events. And poor Orange, he's a bit of a mess. He's neurotic, he's kind of paranoid, and he's always afraid of being eaten. And of course, there's Red, who starred with me in our wonderful Super Bowl ad. He's a bit sarcastic, he's full of himself, he thinks he's a leader, but we know who really is the boss around here, and it's me. Thank you, Lois. Richard from Philadelphia. Richard wants to know what my favorite M&M's flavor is. Well, of course, I'm partial to milk chocolate, Richard. That's obvious, but thank you for asking. Fred from Baltimore wants to know what Mr. Trump is like. Well, Mr. Trump, as you heard, has had me come on to the Celebrity Apprentice, and I'm doing several cameo appearances, which start on Sunday, February 19th on NBC. That's when I first met Mr. Trump. Obviously, I think he's a wonderfully brilliant person because he asked me to do the show, and that means he's doing everything perfectly. Thank you, Fred, for asking. Next up, we have Anne-Marie Bialski. And we love you, Anne-Marie, and I think you are cute too. We've got a note from Gabriella Sophia, and I'm always interesting. So, Gabriella, that's to you. Next up, we've got Jim from Staten Island. Wants to know if he can visit the Museum of Chocolate Art. Well, Jim, thank you so much for noticing that we are going to debut the Museum of Chocolate Art tonight. It is in Soho at 468 West Broadway in New York City. And there it will be a celebration of my life, glorified in chocolate. You'll see a 300-pound chocolate statue of me. You'll see 20 pieces of chocolate artifacts, of glasses, of my high heels, frames, all in milk chocolate, and believe me, it smells divine. And if you can't make it to New York, you can visit a tour, a video tour of the MoCA, as we like to call it, on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/MMS. And you can also follow me on Twitter at MMSBrown. Thank you for asking, Jim. Next up, John from Los Angeles wants to know what it has been like to run M&M's for the past 70 years. Well, John, 70 years is quite a long time, and it has been a great effort that I've absolutely enjoyed. Of course, you know I am the most intelligent, and a lot of responsibility has been put into my hands. But the fact that I can have my board meetings, travel across the globe, and research all the perfect ways of coming up with new chocolate recipes and studying cocoa, it makes my job that much sweeter. So it's been a challenge, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. And I also have to remind you that I am not the average chocolate. It's great to be able to finally come out of my shell. Thank you, John. Next up, Susie from Florida wants to know if I'll be featured in any other ads coming out. Well, stay tuned. As I mentioned, I'm making a cameo appearance in The Celebrity Apprentice, which comes out February 19th on NBC. And I hope you'll be able to see my wonderful work on The Celebrity Apprentice. Thank you, Susie, for asking. Next up, Cody Schultz wants to know what I do in my free time. Oh, Cody, thanks for asking. Well, especially being in New York right now, my favorite, of course, we're opening the Museum of Chocolate Art tonight, which we call the MoCA. But I love visiting other museums. I love going to the opera, reading, of course, a little Nietzsche or Plato always is wonderful for my palate. And just being the brilliant brainiac that I am keeps me definitely going. Thank you for asking, Cody. And next up, we've got Willie from Seattle. Wants to know who my favorite author is. Well, Willie, there are some classics, like I mentioned, Plato and Nietzsche, Socrates, you know, all the classics. But that's what I was introduced when I went to my Ivy League school and, of course, graduated summa cum laude. It's been a while since I've been in school, but I always try to keep up. So thank you, Willie, for asking. Next up, we've got Pam from Mesa, who wants to know what I did in Indianapolis this past week. Well, of course, you know, our Super Bowl ad was so well received when we had it played on the Super Bowl, and it was about time that we finally got some intelligence and class brought back to the Super Bowl ads. But before we aired, of course, I made it to the game. I had the opportunity to meet some of the players, and I took in some of the cultural sites in Indiana. So they have some amazing museums, and they were very, very pleasant to me. Now, before I take any more questions, I want to show our Super Bowl ad, that in case anyone missed it. Here we go. Minister, I'm flattered that you love chocolate, but I'm here strictly in a professional. What's wrong with him?
He thinks you're naked.
My shell is brown. It just looks like my milk chocolate is showing. Only a fool would think I'd actually show up naked.
So it's that kind of party. Hit it!
I'm sexy and I know it. Ay. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. I work out. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was so much fun. Of course, Red behaved as his usual self, and the joke was on him. I'm afraid that I was more embarrassed